So the AI factory, what the heck is that?
That is a phenomenal question. I just flew in today.
It's, run the workload where it makes the most sense to be able to run it from the scaling standpoint.
I think it's a marketing term, though. It's an AI factory. They actually make tokens instead of making widgets.
It's like AI factory evokes something kind of scary, I would say, but really it is a distinction from the traditional data centers.
Yeah. I'm here at GTC 2026. I'm here to keep tabs on the impending AI apocalypse or the collapse, the bubble, whatever you want to call it. But AI factory. AI factory has been a really polarizing term, even in our audience. I'm a little surprised by that. It's not meant to imply that it's going to be a blue-collar worker factory or that people are going to have to manually stamp out tokens. That's not what it is at all. It's something much more interesting than that, I think. And the thing that blows me away is that it really is as generic as a factory for whatever task you want to do. But let's take a closer look. Let's see what we got. AI factory. I keep hearing AI factory. People that are on the outside that just are waking up to this crazy AI future, they think something very different from AI factory, I think. What do you think when you hear AI factory?
On the technical side, it's this combination of, we used to sell servers, and now you have to really deliver the entire data center, right? Because it's not like there's an existing data center you can move this into. You have to sort of come in and bring the entire infrastructure. So that's power, that's cooling, that's networking.
This whole thing has to go.
This whole thing has to go. It has to come, and there's about 100 of these or 1,000 of these. There's storage, there's networking. There's all this stuff has to come together, and that's really the AI factory for us, is like, how do we bring all of that together? So it's not very helpful for you to deliver a server that you can't connect to a network. Well, it's going to sit there. And so that was a lot of the actual experiences early in the AI days, right? When we were sort of putting these things together, it's like, okay, this is great. I got all the GPUs, it's working. It's like, but can I connect 72 of them? Can I connect? Is that all going to work? It's like, well.
I mean, I suppose I would concede that factory is a little bit of a loaded term, but factory as a design pattern in software is a term of art and has existed for a while. And in this context, factory is about the production of tokens and the infrastructure around it. Some people in the audience see a lot of, it's like a little bit misleading or a little bit like it's not exactly a factory kind of thing, or it's not like it's the wrong terminology, but I see it like an electric motor. It's like, we're going to deploy an electric motor. I could put that in a vacuum cleaner. I could put that in a car. I could put that in a spaceship. Well, okay, maybe not a spaceship because you need rocket motors for that. It's a different kind of motor. But mostly electric motors are used in everything.
Yes. I think so, right? But I think it is that, how do you deliver that? I mean, electric motors are great, right? And I think there used to be like general purpose electric motors actually way back in the day, right? You can go look this up. But I think the idea is, people don't want electric motors. They want what the electric motor delivers, right? And that really becomes the AI factory, right? What is all the stuff that goes around it, and how do we integrate that? And then those different applications, if it's a blender or an automobile or a sewing machine, those have different motor needs, right? And so you see a lot of different designs, a lot of different systems come into that, especially as you look out at the edge in AI. It's like, how are you going to deliver edge AI? How much GPU do you need at the edge of the network? How much do you need in the cloud? That's the entire piece.
In this context, I think it makes sense. And factory is a term of art when we're talking about software and software production. Except in this case, the infrastructure for not just building software, but also doing data analysis and robotics tokens and medical imaging and medical analysis and like robot manipulation, physical world stuff, driving. Those are the same tokens. The thing that landed it for me is the same Blackwell GPU is producing tokens for funny cat pictures as like trying to do protein folding for a drug is the same as like doing the real-time AI translation over there. And it's like, it's all the same token. It's just what it's stamped for.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is that the tokens can be used for any AI workload, whether it's like AI inference, training. Of course, the requirements for training applications are going to be more strict compared to a lot of the inference applications. But generally, the concept is that, yes, the AI factory is designed to seamlessly generate tokens for generating your AI outputs and stuff.
In manufacturing, a factory turns raw material into durable goods. In AI, the factory is the system that turns knowledge and context and compute into outputs that can be used by people and software. So token production in an agent context, like an OpenClaw, and there's going to be a separate video on OpenClaw, is another thing. But those are the same tokens, just used in a different context. One of the most delightful aspects of the AI Factory thing is that they have so many different demos here. So it's like the same NVL72 is doing like real-time translation like for the Olympics. It's like you have the Olympics announcer and it's like, oh, it's being rebroadcast in like 30 languages automatically. And it's like the same infrastructure that generates those tokens is the same AI infrastructure that's generating, cat pictures and God knows what else at every corner of the internet. It's the same machine.
It's the same machine. It's the same technology, right? You see that come through. And it really is where the hype of AI really gets sort of delivered, right? Because it's every application, it's every business process. These all get sort of benefit from this acceleration.
And no, there's no implication that the AI factory is going to employ a lot of people. But it does kind of empower people. Like if you have an AI factory that's available and you're able to execute stuff on that, and you have the agency, kind of pun intended, to try to do something, then you can. It's, Jensen, I think, called this butts in the seat, but we've been saying this for years. You have to be able to execute on an idea or put your idea into a larger context, again, pun intended, in order to actually take the machinery and do something useful with it.
Yeah, it's a tough question, I think, but always we've seen this over and over in the industry, right? Virtualization was going to kill the server market, right? Because every server is only 1% utilized. Virtualization server market's going to crash. Well, guess what? There's just more applications that could be hosted and driven if you have the capacity. And I think you're going to see the same thing on the developer impact on AI. It's like there's just more things to develop, right? And this is not getting developed or not getting maintained, et cetera.
The physical infrastructure is upstream of the AI factory, but the people are downstream. And the AI factory enables the people with agency that want to do something to actually do something. But which AI factory does it doesn't matter so much because the actual infrastructure is fairly generic. So like all the data centers have to become so homogenized and so generic that they are basically capable of running any workload.
Yeah.
And so like that level of generic is great for infrastructure redundancy, it's great for resiliency, it's great if something, natural disaster or catastrophic things happen. Business continuity can continue because what does it really cost you to move your workload from A to B? It's still just token generation.
Yeah, that's true. It's still token generation. I think it is possible that we'll see we're seeing the large scale AI training clusters, like things with like Grace Blackwell, GB300 NVL72 based racks. Continue to have a lot of interest for the hyperscale AI training, but I also can imagine just the scenario where people are scaling their AI inference clusters with just a bunch of PCIe GPUs. So I think we'll see that kind of those paths continue.
Nice.
Yeah,
we're going from generation AI to more operational AI, and again, you see this with the OpenClaw side of things. A lot of people were already using AI from an operational standpoint, I want to accomplish this thing, and I'm going to be the agent of that operation, the human being in the loop is going to do the thing. But now we are deploying AI agents that have more autonomy in things like the OpenClaw context where it can run stuff.
people are doing all sorts of interesting things. I think agentic AI is pretty much good, making everybody question their value as humans.
Well, what does agentic AI mean for you?
Autonomous execution, so allowing the AI agent to actually do tasks on its own. Could be kind of narrowly defined or broader, depending on what people are comfortable with. Security is obviously a concern, but right now, agentic AI, essentially autonomous execution, I think, is the important part, and also the ability for the agents to talk and communicate with each other. So I think that's another reason why we've seen a lot of interest in the PCIe GPUs.
Yeah.
Before, a lot of the AI applications would require on coherency from network scaling, whereas the agentic approach allows the individual GPUs to simply talk to each other.
Yeah. Now, is it absurdly dangerous? Yes. But in the beginning with computers, it was also absurdly dangerous. In fact, we didn't even get computer security until the first worm wreaked havoc on the internet because all the computers were interconnected. That's where we are. We're right before some sort of catastrophic thing. It's oh yeah, we should probably do something different. And that's also why I think Nvidia's focus with NemoClaw was a little bit more on security. It is the Wild West, but there's a lot of really interesting things happening. Once companies try to deploy AI seriously, they discover they need capacity planning and queues, scheduling, observability, data governance, repeatability, cost controls, security boundaries, infrastructure that can scale across teams. That's where the AI factory becomes a useful term. So once companies start trying to deploy AI and use AI at scale, like they want to roll out their own AI factory, whether that's something from Spark Scale or DGX Station and on up, they actually need data governance. They actually need a plan. They actually need to be able to explain what it is they need to do. In traditional software development, if you've ever been on any kind of software development, the executives have some weird vision where they're like, distilling things in a cauldron. And as a software developer, it's like, I just need you to articulate what it is you're trying to do. The AI forces you to do that up front. The AI may force you to do that in planning mode. And you will get a better result when you have planning and when you're, architecting these things. And this is all part of the process, but it happens up front. You can also iterate on execution, which is a lot of fun.
I think the thing that came across to me yesterday, just watching the keynote, was, Jensen's talking about delivering new GPUs every year, right? This is a crazy pace, right? The Intel, back in the day on the x86 CPU side, we were 18, 24 months, and you were getting 10 to 20% better performance. And now you're every year getting 50x performance. And it's like, so anything you expect what AI can do a year from now, it can even do more things, right? So it's really kind of crazy.
Yeah, the AI is also accelerating the software side of that. So they can move that fast, but the hardware people are not necessarily used to moving at that sort of a speed.
Exactly. And it's just hard. It's just a different business, right? Software is easy to write, hard to maintain, and hard to change, right?
It's getting easier to maintain if you have helpers.
It's true. You're right.
The tooling here, there is a lot of displacement, but the displacement creates leverage, and the high agency worker, somebody who is using these tools effectively, is going to be in a better position than they've ever been. That much is clear. That much is clear from talking to everybody here at GTC. There's 40,000 people here versus 25,000, and the mood here is electric. It's not really AI replaces everyone. It's some work gets automated, some work gets rescoped, some jobs do disappear, but new control points and new roles appear. For operations, evaluation, governance, domain integration, there is a lot of supervision that AI needs, and there is a lot of tooling that you can build around, okay, well, let's think through this logically, let's problem solve. And those things are still highly applicable and really are not automatable to the extent that a lot of people assume that they are for the next few years, and maybe beyond. So yeah, my opinion, AI factory, it's not a marketing term. It's becoming a term of art for Nvidia, and I know that it evokes a strong reaction from some folks, but it really does make sense in the context of the AI tokens are going to be used for whatever particular problem is in front of the system. What if the model changes every 6 months? What if the software that we're running today is completely obsolete in 6 months? Doesn't matter. It still fits with the design pattern. In fact, the models that we were running locally offline and some of the video that I did previously, those were all really good models at the time, but they don't really compare to models that have been released in the last month, the last 2 months. That's the design pattern. That is, again, part of the factory pattern. The fact that, we can just drop this in. It's like, okay, we might have to adjust a few things, but basically it's fine. So for me, with Vera Rubin, the interesting question is not how fast is the new hardware, it is what sorts of workflows and outcomes does the new hardware enable. Nvidia seems to be saying it's agentic AI. I'm not really so sure of that. Like, it's not just agentic. I think that's the zeitgeist currently. I think the bigger picture is around workflows that are getting enabled as this gets more distribution, as more people get clued into what it means to be, AI enabled in a sort of modern world, or like you got the AI workflows figured out, or you have AI tooling that is helping you accomplish your goals. And that, for me, is what the AI factory is about. So I'm here at GTC 2026 again. Supermicro, sponsored by Travel out here, and Nvidia, got me an attendance ticket. So GTC 2026, take that for what you will. Otherwise, my opinions are my own. This is Level 1 Techs. I'm Wendell. If you have any questions, I'll see you in the forum.